All right, you guys, welcome to the channel. Today's going to be a bit of a shorter video. It's going to be about batting stances and pitching motions that you can use in the game right now with players who you might have wanted to play with this entire time, but quite frankly, they're not in the game. Here's a hint for you though. They might be. Let's get to it. So first things first, I have behind me here, I'm pointing over here because that's where my computer is, but behind me, all around, we have a list of names. Now this website, I will link it in the description, is a list of all the batting stances that you see in the game as Veteran Stance 1, Veteran Stance 2, All-Star Stance 3, all that kind of stuff. This will list them out. 22 here, you got Rocco Baldelli. It's not perfect, some of these will not match up, but you can generally go through and pick out who it is and find their stance. Especially if you like the player a lot, you'll kind of know what their stance was. Just because Hank Aaron is not in the game, you can still use Hank Aaron. Barry Bonds, not in the game, you can still use his swing. Young-Hung Kim, you can use his pitching windup. All these kind of guys you can use in the game. We're going to show you how. We're going to jump right into it right now. All right, so now we are on the game screen. I'm not going to go through stats with everybody. I'm just going to kind of give you a couple numbers, give you a couple names. We're going to keep this short. We're going to keep it sweet. We're on 276. This is Trot Nixon. Fan favorite for a lot of people, especially if you are a Red Sox fan. It would be interesting to see his card in the game. I don't think it'd be very highly rated, but his stance is in the game if you were a big Trot Nixon fan. 406 here, BJ Upton. BJ actually stood for Boss Man Jr. He also went by Melvin Upton there for a little bit in his career. I think he actually changed it back to BJ Upton. Going into the first name on our legend list that we did the, God, how many, was that like a week ago now? 2 weeks ago? But anyways, our legend reveal list, Moises Alou is number 3 here. So the good thing about this is that you can actually use these guys and get used to their batting stance before the game comes out. Now, the reason that that is going to be useful is for the fact that if you have a first inning boss, and it's say like Todd Helton was this year, first year having him in, some people wanted the card, but then they got the card and they couldn't hit with him because they didn't like his stance. Using the batting stances now during this game will allow you to get used to the swing and see if you like it or not. And then that way, when that person comes out, if they're in the game next year, obviously, you'll know whether you really want to waste your pick on him or if you want to go with somebody that you might have a little bit better of an opportunity with. Just because a card looks great stat-wise does not mean you'll do great with the swing. There are guys that I can't hit with. Stan Musial is one of them. Closed stances, I don't hit well with. A lot of guys move the bat too much. If you move the bat too much, that can throw you off. All-Star 9, Jason Bay. All-Star 12, Adrian Beltre. This is a card I love. I would love to have Beltre back in. He's got a closed stance. I don't do well with closed stances. I would want to use this. See if I can do well with him before picking him. 13 here, Lance Berkman. A little bit of a closed stance. I will be using his batting stance here pretty soon. 25 here is my boy Carl Crawford. One thing to note is that in this, it doesn't show you when the pitch is coming. He could have a leg kick or something that can throw you off. It's good to get in, get a couple swings with each guy. 35, Prince Fielder. So imagine he's a little bit of a thicker boy here, a little bit shorter, and you got yourself Prince Fielder. 36, Sean Figgins. 41 is going to be Nomar Garciaparra. Now, I don't remember Nomar moving this much, but quite frankly, I was like 7 years old in 98 when he was out, so he very well could have moved this much. You'll remember if you're a Red Sox fan. 42, Brian Giles. Now this one I remember, this looks like Giles. He does look a little low in his crouch here. 43 looks like it could also be Brian Giles. Again, these are not going to be perfect. Honestly, I feel like this could be younger Brian Giles, older Brian Giles. Who knows? But they're pretty close. 64, Ryan Howard. Now, I remember this would be one where I'd want to get used to the swing because of the bat movement. Bat movement can throw you off. I know Gary Sheffield threw a lot of people off this year because of his bat movement. 75, Derek Lee. Very simple stance. I like it. Javi Lopez comes in at 79. I do like his stance. It reminds me a lot of the Ronald Acuna stance. Maybe a little bit more closed off. 85, Hideki Matsui. 86, Joe Mauer. 92, Melvin Mora. We're just running down our list right now. All these guys were guys that I had in the PowerPoints. 93 here, Justin Morneau. Another one. 99 here, Carlos Pena. Very similar to Derek Lee, actually. The bat's a little bit more pointed upright, but Very simple. So Manny Ramirez is actually in here at 107. So this is supposed to be Manny. I guess I could kind of see it. I think this one was Peralta. Yeah, Johnny Peralta. No, that was 100. Which one was this? Edgar Renteria is 108. Grady Sizemore is going to be 121. I liked his stance when he was playing in the game. Alfonso Soriano is going to be 122 here. And then 123 is actually going to be Sammy Sosa. It'd be kind of cool if they had his little hop that he did after the home run, if they were to bring him in. 127 and 128 were two more guys that I had on our list. So 127 here is going to be Mark Teixeira. And 128 is going to be Miguel Tejada. 134, Jason Varitek. 135 is Mo Vaughn. I want to see Jose Vidros. He's 137. Okay, very simple stance. Vernon Wells is going to be 140. 148 is David Wright. I liked him. I was always a David Wright fan. Never a big Mets fan, but I always liked David Wright. 149, this one is very noticeable. I do wish they kind of had the hand a bit higher on the bat and then brought it down. But this one here, Kevin Youkilis. Everybody loved Youkilis's batting stance. I always liked it as a kid. It was my wiffle ball stance whenever I'd play. Legend Stance 1. Remember how I said you can play with Hank Aaron, you can play with Barry Bonds. This right here, Hank Aaron. Legend Stance number 1. I'm not going to go through all the legends. If you want to, you can go through. You can look on this list. Legend 6, though, Barry Bonds. They've got a stance in here. Reggie Stalker for many. Since you couldn't actually use his name in the game, he didn't give off on any of the right. Number 10 here. Actually, we'll go 7 and 8 because I like both of those guys. 7, Roy Campanella. I'd love to see a Roy Campanella card in the game. We need more catchers. Bring him in, please. 8, Joe DiMaggio. Would very much like to see a DiMaggio card as well. 17 is going to be one that a lot of people want this year. I didn't really think that this stance looked like his. I kind of, no. This is supposed to be Derek Jeter. I'm not seeing it. I feel like the hand should be a lot higher. He had a little bit of movement with his bat too. Like I feel like this could kind of be it, but the hands still aren't high enough. And I don't see anything here that really looks like Jeter to me. It says Alex Rodriguez is 30. I don't really see that. And 34 and 35 are Ichiro. So, nah, I don't see that one at all. No. That one's probably the closest to Ichiro. So again, some of these have moved. It's fine. Mess around with them a little bit. A lot of these did match up though. So if you want to use a Javi Lopez, a Derek Lee, Ryan Howard, Mark Teixeira, go in. Change them. Put them in, get used to the swing. I'd bank, honestly, on a lot of these guys coming in. A lot of them are on the ballot for the Hall of Fame this year. Prince Fielder, Mark Teixeira, Carl Crawford, who the hell else? Papelbon. There's a couple more, but I feel like in the past couple of years, they've been going more for people who are coming onto the ballot, and these guys are on the ballot. We'll see. I think it's a good bet that a lot of them are going to be in the game this year. All right, so we are going to go into pitching motions now. I guess I can show you guys how to get to the stances that you need to get to. Former Players is going to bring you to some of these guys, like Grant Balfour. He's not listed on this list, but he is in the game. I don't know why they're red. I don't know what that's about. But what you're going to want to do is go to generic players. This will bring you to veteran windups, generic windups. The generic ones are not listed on here, but veteran, all-star, and legend are. We'll go through a couple of these. All-star windup 2, Bronson Arroyo. R.A. Dickey is 13. Wonder if it'll look like a knuckleball coming out. Not really. Okay, Byung Hung Kim. So the guy that I'm using is All-Star Windup 28. Joe Nathan, 37. Nothing crazy, but you can get used to him. Brad Lidge is in here at 30. Who's another guy I'd love to see. Tim Lincecum, 32. So a lot of these guys, they are in the game already. You can use them, get used to them, get used to the timing. Pitching wise, a lot of people say that the timing on a lot of guys is off. Use them here, put them on your creative player. You can do this in franchise mode. You don't have to do it in Diamond Dynasty. Hideo Nomo, he's in here. I didn't even know that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. Oh, I might have to put him in. Kurt Schilling, Ben Sheets, James Shields, Brandon Webb, Dontrell Willis. All these guys, they're all in here. Barry Zito here, 67. He had a big leg kick. Yep, that's Barry Zito. Roy Halladay is down here at number 10. So, a lot of guys in here you can use. St. Koufax. They've got stretches too. These are all out of the windup, so now we got some stretches. Let's see if there's anybody of note here. Jabba Chamberlain, Carter Capps, I remember him. Guillermo Mota, I remember him too. Joel Zamaya, he was a good guy for a little bit. Oh yeah, Papelbon, Brian Wilson, BJ Ryan. A lot of guys are in the game. Check out some of these stances. Check out some of the windups. Get the timing down. See if it's somebody that you would actually want to play with in the upcoming games. The stats might not be the same, but you can get a timing down, which is going to be a big thing for a lot of people. You might love Ryan Howard, but you may have forgotten in the past few years if he had a long swing or if he had a really quick swing. You never know. So go in there, mess around with it a little bit, see if there's anybody you like. I hope this video helped you out. I hope it was interesting to you guys. If you liked it, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Anything you do will help the channel. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for stopping by. Stay safe out there. It's cold as hell over here.